Hey everybody, how you doing? I have a new podcast here, a couple of news stories that I think will be very interesting, and I wanted to share and try and get some conversation going regarding this. So these are all from the r/scams subreddit, where you can always find some really good stories as well as helpful hints, and maybe if you've been scammed or you have advice for somebody, they're really happy to hear it and get some help from. So let's go ahead and we will start with our first story. It is called Two Buyers Using Exactly the Same Information, Asking for Exactly the Same Thing. And here we go. This is by actually Neat Conversation 530. I'm selling a mower on Facebook Marketplace. I get a message from Jerzen saying that she's interested. I check out her profile. She has some friends. The account was created a few years ago. Seems like a legit account. I tell her we're doing cash only because there's a lot of scams going on. She asks, what is the meeting location, the condition of the mower, and how long has it been used? I tell her. She says, sounds good, I'll buy it. Then she asks if her sister can pick it up tomorrow because she just had a baby. Then she sends me a picture of the baby. Next, I get a message from Carly. Carly immediately asks me, where is the meeting location, the condition of the mower, and how long has it been used? I check out her profile. Seems like a legit account, so I respond. She says she'll buy it. She then asks if her sister can pick it up tomorrow because she just had a baby. She sends me the same picture of the baby that Jerzen sent me. This has to be a scam, right? But what is the scam? Okay, so this is a fair question. I ask myself the same thing about Facebook Marketplace sometimes. Like, what is the person actually getting out of this? What are they getting out of it? Like, why are they doing it? What's the point? So really, really good post here, I think. So basically, just to kind of sum up the post, the user listed a mower for sale on Facebook Marketplace, two separate buyers, messaged with identical phrasing, and identical pictures. So obviously a scam. Good on the original poster for actually recognizing that. Not everybody would. So the poster suspected a scam and asked Reddit for insight. So good place to ask for it. Great job. So here's what we have about the scam. So often parts of a larger fraud ring use automated scripts and stolen Facebook accounts. So you can buy Facebook accounts because people do know, these scammers do know that people are like Neat Conversation 530 and they're going to do their homework. And, they're going to look on the Facebook account and say, hey, is this a brand new account? Because if it was just created recently, it's probably BS. And if you've ever sold anything on Facebook Marketplace, it is really annoying. Like, even when it works out, you probably had to deal with a bunch of crap before it finally worked out. Whether it be a scam or somebody just kind of kicking tires. Yeah, it's annoying to begin with. And it's just, it's a great way to get reach and get people to look at it, but you're going to pay the price of having to deal with the annoying shit that comes along with it. So this may involve fake payment scams like Zelle and PayPal, courier scams, or overpayment refund scams. So ways to identify the scam, identical messages like what happened, emotional bait, maybe a new baby like they use, an urgent pickup, a third-party involvement. I'm kind of remembering here, I've had people say my sister's going to pick it up. And guess what? That never happened. Using photos to build trust. Yeah, I mean, like, this poster probably wasn't questioning that she just had a baby. So why send it right away? Like, I mean, I don't think the poster was skeptical at that point, but sending a picture and trying to prove something that really doesn't need to be proved, someone you don't even know, that actually raises the red flag. Request for payment by Zelle, PayPal, or other platforms of spoofed confirmation emails. I mean, yeah, I use Zelle and PayPal and Venmo all the time with Facebook Marketplace, but I'll do it in person. So if someone's paying me, then, I'll make sure that I could see it in my account, because once it's there, it's there. There's nothing they can really do about it. They can't get the money back. So yeah, I mean, I guess that could be, but like, you gotta pay something. So, and a lot of people, including myself, I don't really like cash. I actually get a little bit more concerned when I get cash, because I don't know if the cash is real or not. I'm not really that good at telling. And I've gotten situations where I've tried to deposit money for something I've sold, and for whatever reason, the ATM just doesn't accept it. But it was just a little bit of an error on its end, and I tried it again and it worked. But like the type of feeling you get when you try and put money in and it doesn't work from a couple $100, sale you just made, someone you're never going to see again, can be very disturbing. So I don't like to be in that situation. Personally, I like to see that the money's in my account. Through Venmo is my preferred method, because it goes ka-ching and you can see it right in your account, and then you're good to go. So anyways, off my soapbox from that. So if somebody you know is affected, you want them to stop communication immediately. Don't send money or personal information. You should report the scammer's profile to Facebook. They probably do have a lot of them, but at least that profile can't keep going. You got to watch out for people who are less savvy, or maybe elderly people, because that's a lot of time the demographic that these people are going after. And if you did send the money, contact your bank account provider and just be like, I made a mistake. It's happened to family members for me, and both of them have gotten their money back, luckily. So, just don't give up if it happens. It feels embarrassing, but still, you don't want to just let it go. So some of the more helpful comments from this post were from OKAD2876. Says it's a Zelle scam. They'll send a fake email saying you need to upgrade your account to receive payment. Don't fall for it. Okay. Yeah. The same person says they use stolen Facebook accounts to look legit. Always insist on cash and public meetups. I definitely agree with the public meetups. 100%. I meet up at a grocery store. I meet up somewhere where there's a lot of people. I don't agree specifically with that comment about cash. But that's a personal preference. I mean, if you're getting cash, it's probably real. But that's just definitely a preference. And Throwaway Scam Spotter says, reverse image search the baby photo. I bet it's been used in dozens of scams. So you could do that if you're interested in it. But I mean, I think just reporting that scammer's profile, you already know it's in two. So somebody's using it right away. But yeah, that's an interesting story. I mean, we all sell things on Facebook Marketplace, and we all need some help on what to do, and it's hard enough to navigate it. So watch out for your friends and family with this kind of a scam possibility. You just get a bunch of crap as soon as you post. There's nobody waiting around for whatever item you had, unless it's like a PS5 that just came out. That was the only item I ever sold that people were, wanted to buy right away. So yeah. All right, great. So that's a good story to start off with. So let's go on to the next story here. This one is called Grandma Adopted a Kid in India. And this is from Content Passion 4961. And it goes like this. My 80-plus grandparents have been sending money to India for years. They think they adopted a little girl overseas through some program. They get photos and letters from her. I asked if they tried to, would they be able to meet her? She claims they can, but only with anecdotal evidence from their friends who are also in their 80s and getting scammed. Obviously, this is a scam, but I need more information on it before I bring it to her. Are there any documented cases of this scam? All right, so money is just going overseas, and we don't know. We don't know where it's really going. Just getting pictures, possibly, maybe used over and over again, like the picture of the child from the last story. So I guess it's something to be aware of, and it was a good question for this person to ask. So the type of scam it is a potential charity scam or fraudulent child sponsorship program. So it mimics legitimate child sponsorship models, but may be exploiting elderly donors with fabricated stories and emotional manipulation. Common denominator, emotional manipulation. So there are legitimate ones. You've seen them on TV, I'm sure, that say, adopt a child for X amount of money a month. I don't see them too much anymore, but I guess I don't really watch TV anymore, so they might still be out there. But, those ones are usually legit, but these ones are just mimicking them. So some of the ways to recognize the scam is there's no clear name or verification of the organization itself. There's no tax receipts or formal documentation. They're using an emotional appeal without transparency, and there's a lack of direct contact options. So there's really not any way to contact people. So if someone is affected by this, if it happens, you can ask for the name of the organization and research it on sites like Charity Navigator. So Charity Navigator, to just look it up and see if it's legit or not. You want to check to see if they receive tax-deductible receipts. Legit charities usually provide them. You can help them understand the difference between sponsoring and adopting. And if it's a scam, you can report it to the FTC and guide them towards local charities where they can see the impact directly. So that, I think, is one of the best ways to do this. So if grandma wants to adopt a child and really wants to make an impact in someone's life, bringing them towards an approved charity or local charity to do something like this where they can actually see the impact that they're having on these people, and not probably a picture of some child that is being, used over and over again, like the first story. That's the way to do it, because this person's got a kind heart and they're really just trying to help. So I think that's the way to go with something like this. And just be aware of the embarrassment that people might feel. People are always embarrassed when they realize that they may have been scammed or that they were scammed. I've seen it a few times with my family, and we've really treated it nicely, where it's like, it happens to everyone. You got to be very empathetic with it. Not really sympathetic. Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Like, that's not the way to handle something like this. You want to be empathetic towards them, where it's like, this happens to people all the time. It's not just you. There's nothing wrong with your intelligence, because it's true. Like, there's nothing wrong with them. These people, this is their job to scam people. So, just make sure that if this happens to someone that you're treating it like with a lot of empathy. So some of the helpful comments from other people: Primary Holiday 5586 says, please look into which program. I actually did this for years through a very reputable organization. If you need help, post the name here and people will look into it. Hey, that's good. GT0163C says, there are legitimate programs which do child sponsorship. This is not an adoption, but it could easily swap the terminology. Very true. So Member X1150 says, even if it's legit, many charities spend 90 to 95% of donations on staff. Encourage them to support local causes where they can see the impact. So that's true. So, I think it is. I've heard of things like this too, but I'm not really 100% sure. This isn't really in my wheelhouse, but looking in to see how much money is actually spent on staff versus what goes to see the actual impact on the child. So yeah, that's something good to look into. In local charities, you may see more impact. Very interesting story here, and very common thing where people are sending money to possibly places where they don't know where it's going. Great. And let's get to a third story. This one is by Obvious Dust 6449, and it's called US. It's in the USA. Restricting internet access. How do you go about restricting a loved one's internet access? My mother has fallen for a scam after scam after scam, and finally we've had enough. As a family, we had a talk, and I mentioned restricting internet access. She wasn't completely averse to the idea. So now I need to know how I'd go about doing that without taking her phone away. I'm just asking that you all be very kind, as this is a rough time for me and my family, and I honestly cannot handle unkindness right now. Thank you. Right. No, I mean, I think that most people in this subreddit are not going to treat you like that. I think they're going to be empathetic because they're here to help. So if you want to put something like that, if you post in the scams, you can for sure, but I wouldn't expect it. I really have never seen it. I've never seen someone make fun of someone or anything like that. That's just my experience, and I think the moderators are on the ball with stuff like that too. It's one of the rules of the scams subreddit. So just in case you want to post them there. So yeah, it's tough. You want your family member to not keep falling for this. A lot of times, someone who might be retired or elderly, they have a lot of time on their hands, and they're looking for things to do, and these might seem like a little bit more attractive versus people who are busy and have jobs and like, okay, I know this crap, I'm not going to do this, whatever. But the type of scam it is it's targeting multiple scams targeting vulnerable individuals, including phishing, romance, and financial fraud. The exact scams aren't too detailed here in this story, but the mother has committed crimes to send money, indicating serious manipulation. So we just don't want her to keep. She's been not committing the crimes, but she's been spending the money, and the family's probably had to pull her out of it a few times, which is tough. And to see your family member do it over and over again is not good. So ideas on recognizing this: unusual requests for money from gift cards, Venmo, or wire transfer. We've talked about that a few times. And again, emotional manipulation. We don't know what the scam is, but she's a mother, and she's probably empathetic, and she probably is falling prey to emotional manipulation with these scams. So I thought a really good idea that a couple people posted was considering a kid-safe phone. So I know she's not a kid, but they could still have limited app access to hopefully restrict these kind of things from coming in. You could set the social media to private. You could use programs like TrueLink Financial for debit card spending and merchant restrictions. Or maybe like a green dot card. Some of these things could really help. And especially considering that the mother is not averse to the idea, not completely averse to the idea. One of these things might be a great idea. So a couple of comments from others. We have Church Pew 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 says, I second the flip phone. It worked with my mom, who was falling for every scam that came her way. And I mean, if someone with a flip phone, like they're probably used to the flip phone. And the iPhones and the Androids that came along were like the newer ones, smartphones. They might not even be as familiar with that. So the flip phone, great. They still make them. You can still use them. And that'll keep the internet out. KnownPop8355 says, I installed Cloudware Warp, and I blocked malware, adult sites, deleted social media, and trained them to forward suspicious messages to me. So, helping them, I probably wouldn't use the word train for a family member, but I get the point, and showed them, send these to me if they look suspicious. And Clyde Blackberry 4809 says, we used a special debit card with spending limits and store restrictions. It notified us of every transaction. Okay, so all three really good ideas, really helpful ideas that can help this mother to not keep falling for scams. Personally, I would probably go, with the flip phone if they're okay with it, because then they can text and they can call. And realistically, a lot of times, people who are younger, they might just want to text their elderly grandparents. And a lot of times the elderly grandparent wants to sit there and have a conversation because that's more personal to them. And it almost holds the child, the younger one, accountable for making a phone call, because that's the only way they can communicate rather than a text message. So might actually help your relationship with your elderly grandparent as well. So just a little side quest there, a little idea there to help the relationship. But yeah, thank you for joining me again. I'm going to keep doing these a little bit more often, getting a little bit more time as the weather starts to become worse here. It will start snowing before we know it, unfortunately, but I'll give me more time to do some podcasts. So hope everybody has a great rest of their weekend and a great week, and I will be back shortly.